Hey, CBK here with another video, and today we're doing an AMA. Oh boy, yes, we're doing another one of those AMAs. And today we've got Calm Finance, or Calm Financial, should I say rather, with us today. And listen, this is one of these node plays which has been going strong for about a month or two, and the price has just been going up and up and up. And I tell you what, the not only the graph looks strong, but in order for you to get such a strong graph, then I'm sure you got to have some strong code with a strong core team that believes in their project. So I just want to welcome the Calm Financial guys with us today. Welcome and thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome. Thank you for having us.
It's actually gonna be Comb in the future. That's I guess we can give a quick little alpha to your audience. It's gonna be Comb.
Right. Okay. So you're gonna slash the finance or financial and just keep it as Calm, right?
Hey,
yes. Hey,
yes.
Sheila.
Hi.
Hello, Sheila. Another one of our team, so team members. So
Let's see. Yeah.
Sheila. Excellent.
Yeah, the reason for that is we believe we're a tech company at the end of the day, and we don't want to just be associated with just financial services. We want to have a broad category of what we can move forward with as the future kind of progresses.
Right. Okay. Excellent. So I'm going to go into some of my actual questions. A lot of the other team guys here have got questions for you as well. So we're going to try and condense it down and try and get as short as answers as we can get, so that we can fit it all in the time, right? So the first question that I've got is the project a fork or was it coded from scratch? And how long did it take to get it from concept to final production?
Yes. Yeah, when you can answer this, but before Phil, I think it's good to like kind of identify the time frame of when we were released, because you're asking if it's a fork of Ring, correct?
No, I'm asking is it a fork of anything? It could have been a fork from Strong, could have been a fork from, we've had quite a lot of node plays in that sense since Strong, so it could be a fork of anything.
We own up to this pretty much, but we are mostly a fork of Ring. But the thing is, though, we've edited so much that at this point we like to say it's our own. We've iterated on it so much that we've created a bunch of systems that really make it something really unique and different than a lot of the other projects that have forked Ring as well. As we know, like there are some of the few biggest projects are forks of Ring, but we think that although that's the case for most projects, we have iterated enough to kind of just take it away. So yes, initially, but now we've changed a lot, and we'd like to say it's our own.
Okay, all right, that's cool. So that's fine. It's a fork of Ring, and I mean, we know there was a lot of sort of bad code in Ring's contract, so you've basically cleaned a lot of that up, right? As you said.
Any security flaws, any distribution flaws, and overall the whole system has been basically overhauled to kind of support our needs and to get away from those if any bad code existed.
Okay, excellent. No worries. Cool. All right. Second question, why did you come out and physically dox yourself? Because you guys are on camera. So what's given you guys the confidence to actually come out, dox yourself? Because a lot of programs, a lot of projects out there don't actually dox themselves quite a lot, which is quite worrying. So why did you guys feel that confident to do that?
So for me personally, I know I'm not on camera right now, but I would be if it weren't so early in the morning. But personally, it's just like we believe that it's probably normal, or it should be normal or normalized. At least for us, we're treating this as a company rather than just another project you kind of just put out anonymously. And we think that since we compare us to a real company, when you think of a real company, you have to own up to what you're doing and say like, oh, I'm the founder of this, and like actually show that you are doing something. And usually your face is on it. And for most companies, yeah, you know who's behind it, you know the team, you know the owner. And why couldn't our project be any different? That was kind of the mindset that we're kind of believing in. And
Right.
so like our team, like it's doxed internally. We kind of know each other, and it's really nice because we get to see each other and kind of be like, I don't want to say a family, but we know each other pretty well.
Mhm.
And we just want to normalize that fact that doxing is probably okay for a decentralized slash anonymous environment.
Mhm.
And we just wanted to show people that as a way also to be transparent, because we want you to know who you guys are investing in. Sam,
So
would you like to add on to that?
yes. So Phil actually just put this on the notes. I could not have said it better than myself. Um, when you have like a true passion for a project or have some true like very like pure intentions, and you want to and you know you want to stay in this industry and just be here. For us, like what Phil was saying is we want to normalize this should be kind of normalized. It shouldn't be something that would be like, oh, it's a big deal for you guys to see who's behind the project. But just because we're in DeFi, it is a big deal. You know, for us, we don't mind. You know, for us, like we're here to stay. And we want to, if there's a way that we can provide that extra security for the investors, I'm saying like, hey, we're like, this is us. There's a face behind the name, then we will do that, right? Like I said, like we're Comb. Even though we're Comb Financial, we provide financial services. We're here to stay, and we're a tech company, and we're trying to compete with the big boys in the future, like Fang. You know, so we're not going to go anywhere.
Excellent. Okay. All right. So are you guys KYC'd with like an external company? And if so, who? And if you're planning to, who?
So we aren't KYC with any external company,
Right.
nor are we really planning to, because we just believe that revealing our faces and just putting that time into it, it's probably just good enough. In our opinions, we think that spending the extra money on KYC can be a little bit excessive, at least for one of the most popular KYC platforms, Ashir. Um, they cost around 1 Ethereum, or their offer to us was half of Ethereum. And so
They've
when
been out
you
for about a year, haven't they?
Hmm?
I think they've been out for about a year or less than a year.
Yeah,
That's your
they've
DeFi
been
you're talking about, right?
Assure DeFi, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we don't think that spending our resources on something that could literally be free, let that be showing our faces,
Mm.
we think that spending those resources onto rather audits or more members or just anything else really could be more beneficial in the long term.
Right.
Like if you think of it in the reality of everything, like when you go and try to start a company, yes, you have to write paperwork, and yes, you have to share some of that information,
Mm.
but nobody's gonna ask, oh, are you KYC'd? Like I never asked if Bill Gates was KYC'd.
Mm.
And that's the thing, like it's just the space is so weird and requires so many things that so many things are not normalized. And we prefer to kind of, we're conservative with our budget, and so
Mm.
that's why we're kind of also not doing the KYC. But
Sure.
we think that what we're doing right now is sufficient.
Mm. Okay. All right. No, that's fine. I mean, you're not on camera now, Philip, but I mean, have you been on camera in the past?
Yeah, I have a whole video on, with myself in it. So
Okay. All right, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so that leads on to, you did mention about being audited. So my other question is the contract audited, and if so, by whom?
so not at the moment, it's not audited. We are getting an audit. Well, we're applying for an audit quote for an extension for our project. So we have a lot rolling out quite soon. And
Mhm.
so it's going to be a financial service, DeFi product that we really think will like stun the whole Phantom network, not just our community, but the Phantom network.
Okay.
And so we're getting that audited before we release it. And yeah, we're really excited about it. We're gonna be auditing with Solidity or Solidity. finance. Yeah.
You're getting it. So it's with who?
Solidity Finance.
Solidity Finance. I haven't heard of them, but okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm sure they're a little bit cheaper than Certic, right?
They we're okay, so we're on the process of getting the quote from where we're at, but we've already forwarded our contracts to them and for them to look at it. But they're actually quite known in this space. They've audited quite a few different like projects. So, but yeah, I guess from that standpoint.
Oh snap! I had myself on mute. Sorry, man. I'm
No worries. You're like, man, these guys are awkward as heck, huh? Like, what's going on? They're phoning us. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. Go ahead.
Worries.
I'm all ears.
Perfect. All right. So I want to address both KYC and audit. And the reason for the KYC touch base on this is because what does a KYC stand for? Like, know your customer. The whole point of it is, are these people legitimate behind the protocol, right? And this is like a way for people kind of to avoid showing your face just because of the whole space. And I understand that when a project is infant or new, as a protocol like founder, it's a scary thought process of like, okay, let me show my face because like, given the bad actors in the space. But for us, given that we knew what the direction that we wanted to go with Comb and how we have a huge roadmap and plan, not just in this space, but in the real space, that this was not an issue for us, right? For us, like what Phil was suggesting is, do you ever ask Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, any of those people out there? And we're not trying to compare, but we want to be up to those standards of those companies. Did you get a KYC? Did your code get audited, right? And in the beginning, when I said that we're Comb and we're a tech company, what is a tech company? We have to keep optimizing our contracts. So when you think about audit, these are just marketing plays that protocols use to increase, security or something of that nature for an investor to be reeled in, right? If you're an actual, like, I would say protocol that's like constantly optimizing contracts and being better, then you're changing your contracts constantly, right? So if we get an audit today, that means that we're not going to change that contract by any means, right? And if we change that, let's say anything, like tweak it up and we want to add something new, right? We have a lot of really nice features that are coming out. Now with the, like, we have our metaverse coming out. We have, our Z. I can't say what's at the end of it, but these are huge things that are going to actually be the holy grail of our protocol that's going to help sustain the network, or it's not sustain the network, sustain Comb. And for us to even roll out these are two different features, right? For us to roll this out, if we have to constantly get audits on these audits, right? And everybody knows a Certic audit isn't cheap, right? It's about, I think, range like 50. It's like insane, like 50 or 60,000, right? So for us to constantly do that just for a marketing play, it's not worth it in our eyes, right? Like, we have the one thing that stands out with Comb is our dev team. Anybody, and you go in any space in DeFi in this realm and be like, what is Comb? And they're going to be like, Comb is the team out there that just does not stop. We execute. We have built out. We have the best nodes in the game as far as what we've done. We've done it early. We've beat every single other protocol. We started the RPC endpoints. And everybody hopped on that wagon. And at the same time, we did universal endpoints, and that's has a load balancer. So if you have multiple endpoints, if one of them is congested, it picks your most optimal one. We also rolled out with servers, right? You have a choice between our North American servers and our EU servers. You kind of see where I'm going with this. So our nodes have been so optimized, and we constantly keep iterating with it. And the fact is, the whole idea, even though blockchain, everything is transparent, our tech is, I don't want to really go into, because this kind of defeats the purpose, but no matter what, I really want to address that, because I feel like people are just blindly sometimes investing when they see something is audited and something's KYC. They're like, all right, let's just throw money into it. And that's not the way we want to kind of normalize, I would say, any protocols in crypto or in just DeFi. We want people to actually research into the protocol, right? I don't know if you guys actually knew we offered all those things with our nodes, right? And the thing is research, what does the protocol offer? What is the future of this protocol, right? Because these protocols, at the end of the day, David Moss said it the best: technology innovation is a barrier to entry for this industry. And if you're just, so when you're investing, you have to invest in you want to invest in the vision of the direction they're headed. right? You don't want to invest in a protocol that's offering you your money back within 30 days. That's foolish, right? Like this is one of those things where if you're like, you're gonna get your money back 30 days, right? You say that out loud to someone in the streets, they're gonna call you a fool and walk away. You know, it's like, and that's what we're kind of trying to treat Comb is we want to treat Comb as, you know, a real entity that isn't just because we do business in the crypto space does not mean that we should neglect practices that work in the real space, right? And that's one aspect of us that we're really adamant about. And I really want to highlight about that because I feel like I just feel like that just, you know, needs to be stressed and more known. You know, I feel like we're trying to raise this the bar, right? The thing is a lot of these protocols, you don't know who the founders are. You don't know you don't know who's behind the contracts. You now know who's behind Combs contracts, right? Even if you know, like, you know, let's say a community manager of a protocol, right? Or a face or protocol that just kind of represents that means nothing. That means nothing. They're not the ones who control anything. They have no power, right? And that's where it gets scary, you know, and you're relying on someone that's had maybe few interaction or whatever. But that's how it is. And that's the nature of where we're at right now. Right. And that's where it's really, really scary because it can harm us specifically indirectly because of us getting kind of leeway in that space. And that's actually another main reason why we're transitioning from Comb Financial to Comb is because we know the direction we're headed as a company. And the thing is we want to be associated as a node protocol. We're much, much more. You know, for us, we've already had the best nodes in the game. And we're creating a game. And we're seeing people who are trying to create games now. So and we're actually doing, and not even saying creating, like I'm not saying we're creating, right? We've already created the game. It's out there. We're doing beta testing right at the moment. It's not a 2D world, it's a 3D world where you can interact. And these are things that we can show you. Like, I don't know if you have shared.
Is that metaverse? Yeah, I can give you, here you go. So I've given everybody access to share their screens. But just before you do that, is that a metaverse game or?
Yes. So it's our own world. It's we're calling it Hyverse. We're still going back and forth with what we're calling it, but the whole idea behind our like 3D world is it's a world where you can interact within your hive in the first beginning, but the possibilities are endless. Does it make sense? And I think in order for me to kind of really, really explain it, I think it's one of those things that you have to see it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a little bit different from seeing it and then actually playing with it is the best way to word it.
Brilliant.
Let me kind of show it to you guys so you guys kind of see what we're working up.
Yes, sure.
And obviously, like right now, I'm pulling it up. Just edit it out, please. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
So are you guys able to see this?
Yep.
So we actually came out with this about a few weeks back, right? And we're doing a lot of testing with our users. So this is a 3D world where you can actually go into it, and this is your hive, right? This is where you have the scheme manager. So this is where your NFTs will be at, like. Of what we're kind of doing as far as the game goes, right? And the thing is if you guys want, we can relay the beta keys to you guys, so you can actually play around with it. Because you just saw me through a screen doing it, even though it's like cool and awesome. It's different when you're moving around. It's actually your own character. I would say there's just something more special about that.
Brilliant. Sounds good.
Yes.
Sounds good. I do want to recap because I've got one last question that I need to ask, and then Sheila's got some questions, and then we've got Sheila's got 5 questions as well, and we're concerned about the time. How are you doing for time, Philip?
We're good. Yeah, just take your time. Like it's all good.
Excellent. All right. I do want to recap because you was talking about the whole KYC and people are concerned about KYC and knowing who's, you know, a part of the project. We do have to understand that as investors, people are concerned. I mean, look at Ring, right? You know, they ran off with over $300 million worth of.
They were audited in KYC.
Sorry?
Weren't they? They were audited in KYC.
No, they weren't. No, if you remember on Kryptonair's interview, they were actually saying, you know, this is something that you guys should consider. And they were saying, yeah, this might come later, but that later never came. They disappeared with over 300 million worth of cryptos. But what I'm saying is you guys are doxed. So this gives the investors the confidence in knowing, well, these guys are not just hiding behind a picture or avatar. Yeah. So, and not only that, with regulations is coming, guys, whether you like it or not. Yeah. And the fact, I don't like the fact that this space is getting regulated. The crypto space was never made to be regulated by a centralized body. Yeah. But it's coming because of these ruggers, scammers, and stuff like that. So the reality is we are literally forced to have to, as people who are developing things, identify ourselves, whether it's by a KYC piece of paper or get yourself on a camera. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's all about confidence. And you know, I just want to say thank you guys for being open to show yourself on the camera, right? So I just really wanted to recap on that. Let me just move on to my last question, because I know Sheila's got some as well and she's itching to go. So is the dev wallet multi-sig and locked? And if so, how long for?
So the dev wallet is not multi-sigged or locked, but the liquidity, the wallet is. So yeah, it's just multi-sigged. And the primary people behind that is community members, and then trusted community members that were picked early on, and then a couple of admins. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Look, I'm all out on questions. Do any of you guys want to go first? Do you want to go first, Sheila?
Yes. So, hello all. My name is Sheila. I'm a telecommunications engineer and a self-taught blockchain developer. So I will go on with my questions. So the first question is, what was your inspiration project?
Yeah, so actually, it was just really the space. I really liked these concepts, and I really want to do something for my own. And so I was like, since this looks like something that's really attractive and something that I'd really want to get into, I did release this, and it was just the space was really, I guess there was a lot of hype at the time. And so I was like, okay, let me join in. But now that we've grown a little bit, we're looking into actual like financial products. And so we're getting really inspired. At least we have yield optimizers now, and we really want to push that. And so we're inspired by Beefy, Liquid Driver, Grim, or Reaper, all these large financial like services, and we really want to be a part of that like ecosystem. So we're about to step in, and we're really excited. But that's soon to come.
Okay, thanks. So how much was your first capital investment? Did you apply for any fund for your project?
So my initial investment personally was $8,000 to do that initial liquidity. And then we have not applied for any funding as of now, but we are looking into seeing if we could get some funding for at least the metaverse in the near future.
Okay. How much from a scale from 1 to 10 would you point the difficulty of this project regarding the tech perspective?
We'd say it'd probably be a good like 6. I don't really find it necessarily too difficult. In my opinion, like all of blockchain development is really quite simple. You create the contract, you connect on the front end, and all the interactions, all the hosting, all that is already set up for you. And that's the beauty of the blockchain, is that everything's simplified so that anybody could create like their own currency, their own bank, their own like auction house, like museum, right? It's all so easy. And the hardest part to me and to most, I think, like developers, is designing an architecture on how the system should be designed. And so the system we've created, at least for our contracts, is really modular, and they really work in tune with each other, because there's a bunch of different contracts that really help separate the data and how it flows, and we're really happy about it. And so although our contracts are not verified at the moment, as soon as we receive an audit, we will verify them. But yeah, we'd say like around a 6. It's something that we'd say wasn't too hard.
Okay. So you mentioned it a little bit before, but do you have any other insurance regarding your project security? What happens to the investors, users if the nodes go down?
We don't control the market, and we just like to establish that however the market reacts, that's just how it would be. What we want to focus on is building a product that really stands out. And that's kind of how things are. Just like there's companies out there that provide value through the work they put in and the products they release. And we kind of want to do something along the lines more similar, because we can't just release a project and just leave and not iterate on it. We are constantly working on the next big step, and that's something that we're really proud of, because like every single week we are providing a really nice feature every single time. Let that be compounding or just iterations on the metaverse. We're constantly pushing out a product that we want investors to invest in, just because that, not for monetary incentive, but just because it's a great product. And that's how we control it. If it does go down, then there's not much we can do in that regards. But other than that, like, we're constantly working, we're tired, but we want to make something great.
Yeah, and also like I would like to mention is we do have other features that actually will help sustain our protocol that isn't directly correlated with like inflating by minting comb. I don't know if you guys know, we have the yield optimizers that we released, and all those fees that we generate from there go directly back into burning comb, so that we can keep this project more I would say just a lot more alive. And at the same time, we're releasing a really nice this is where the whole Z aspect comes into play. And that's where I said like this is the holy grail of our protocol. And I like to say that no matter what, we do have kind of like a really nice like if anything ever happens, we want at least all the investors get their ROI back, and having the validator, we can kind of keep providing that yield. But granted, it might take some time, but that's if anything ever happens to this protocol. Just know that as an investor, you will get your money back no matter what. We're going to keep this project alive. And that's something that kind of stuck out with, especially when Phil was mentioning that like a month ago. Is like we have a plan, if anything fails, that at least you can get your ROI back.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the last questions, what makes you stand out above your competitors?
I think what makes us stand out the most is the fact that we have a really nice team. Because we have a nice team, we're able to do so much. We have a lot of people that are majored into math, and then as well economy, like economists, as well as really amazing developers. We personally believe that we have one of the nicest projects in the space because of our UI UX, as well as a community or community managers that really are passionate about the project. We have a couple of writers as well, and then we have a couple of just people who really are passionate, so that they're here to stay and we're here to stay. And so we think our dedication is what puts us out there, and it has shown through the products we pushed out so far.
Okay, thank you very much.
Excellent.
And I guess like let me say like just 5 bullet points of what makes it stand out. The Hiveverse, like our Veniverse game that we actually have launched, our yield optimizers, our Nectar. I don't think any other one has a universal endpoint like a load balancer for the node aspect. And then I would say Z, right? And that's to kind of be like really the big one, but we've already kind of have 4 out there that you guys can actually see today of what separates Comb if you're relating us with node protocols per se, right? And that's I don't know if that was kind of the main questions, like what stands out with node protocol, your competitors within this node space. There's 4 aspects that we just kind of laid out that are right now, and then the Z is going to be kind of you say the bachelor, like but yeah, I just want to kind of highlight that out there.
Sure. All right.
Okay, great.
I know OJ's got some questions. I just want to quickly qualify something with you guys, right? So I'm actually on CoinMarketCap, and I take it you guys are actually on here already, right? So I'm looking at Comb Finance, and the actual token price at the moment is $210. How much would someone coming in like with least amount of money to create a node? How many Comb tokens do they need to create a node?
So we're currently offering a 3-node token up to a 60-node token. So the minimum investment as of right now should be $630.
Okay. All right, that's cool. That's reasonable. Are you guys thinking of? I know that's pretty much is fractional nodes anyway, but are you guys planning to maybe lower that barrier to entry, or do you think freeze the lowest you'll go?
Given that we get enough people saying that they want to just lower it just a little bit, yeah, we're totally down for it. Right now it's already pretty low, so that it's not soon, but given we listen to our community a lot, so if there's people that really want it, we'll put it out.
Cool. Sounds good, guys. All right. Oh, and just before I pass it on to OJ, just one last thing. You probably haven't been on an AMA like this before because you're talking to developers as well. So I'm sure we're not just asking the random questions that other people ask. So I'm sorry if it's a little bit different, but it is what it is.
That's always nice.
Cool. OJ, go for it, man.
All righty. I think you guys have covered a lot of what I was going to ask. I guess my only question right now is, did Nectar come about at a certain point in time because there was a hurdle to overcome, or was that idea in place since the beginning?
It's kind of the beginning.
It was at the beginning because we already knew that we wanted a system where people can easily compound their tokens, or not in the world of the node space, it's compounding, but just create nodes off of your rewards in a way that is tax-free, and tax being like the fee on cashing out. And so yeah, we created that system and we're really happy about it because everything's really clean, and at least the contracts for the Nectar and the Nectar compounder are all out there. They're all verified, and it's a system we're really proud of because not only is compounding tokens easy, but it gives you that sense of dopamine every time you claim. And that's a psychological thing that we really wanted to push out. And we wanted to make our investors feel happy about what they were doing, let that be compounding or claiming, whatever that be. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely brings the user in for sure. So, all right, thank you for answering. Besides that, I think you guys knocked them out.
All right. Perfect.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool, man. Well, look, at the end of the day, I've always got questions, but at the same time, I want to be cautious of the time. So the fact is, it would be good if we could get you guys back on at another point when you guys launched maybe the metaverse, or anything that you've got along your roadmap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get you guys back on for another AMA. I suppose one last thing before you guys go, are you guys connected at all with, and I need to try and remember what the actual terminology of what these people are pushing, but I think Renegade and Nylock is pushing a
UOT,
transparency.
Yes. No, we're not. We're not in the UOT. And not saying we're opposed to it. But no, we're not in the UOT.
Okay.
But no matter what, we like the whole concept of it. But no.
Okay, no, that's fine. Because I did speak to Nylock and Renegade before on a few things, but just myself and a couple of my team. I'm going to propose it to a couple of my team members here. Is to have this whole developers coming together, people who are not out there to rug people, but people that actually want to bring products to the market that actually, is here to last. Do you know what I mean? Where everyone benefits, the developers and also those that invest in us. Yeah. So creating a network of developers in which we keep connected. Yeah. And actually create our own sort of I don't know, like a network. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I'm gonna touch base on that. Renegade and Nylock, they're not the developers. You guys know that, right?
Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I'd be down to like if people want to like talk to like I help a lot of people, and that's just because I like doing what I'm doing. And like if people struggle, yeah, I'll help. I don't have too much time on my hand, but given that the project is quite simple, I always am down to help. And if we do hold like a little developer conference thing between all these projects, like I think that'd be fun. And I think that'd be really nice to really get to know people on a more personal aspect. And of course, that create a lot of transparency, which people really love in the space. So
yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's not necessarily in a case of we requiring help per se, but it's more to do with creating that a network of developers who create projects and create products that last, that creates change in the space, right? And actually just saying, if someone was to come along and say, right, oh, have you heard of this new project? And I know that this is your project, then I'll say, oh no, yeah, that's definitely a sound. These guys are not out there to rug you or scam you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's separating the wheat from the chaff, because right now there are so many wolves and sharks and just people just out to just snatch as much as they can get.
Carl, that's what I want to bring up is the whole concept of UOT is amazing. It's amazing, and we love all aspects of it. But the developers, they're not out. Does that make sense? And that's what I kind of want to keep striving. They're the CMs.
Yeah.
What they want to, they're building a really nice foundation. But who's to say that they won't? You don't know who they are at the end of the day, and that's really what it comes down to. The UOT is amazing. Like the whole concept of it is amazing, and it has to still be fleshed out a lot more. But what I don't want is investors be like, oh, UOT, and they associate, because right now you're associating as you're associating as network of developers. Nylock and Renegade, they aren't developers.
No.
You guys are already planting that seed in your brain that people that are in there is a network of developers. If Power and Thorn want to, then it's just one of those things. I don't want to go deeper into this, but it gets frustrating because it's like you guys need to it's like more so being on the other side, because it's more like because people are just getting fed like wrong type of advertisement at the end of the day, right? They're just getting feeded like, okay, if you're in UOT, I'm gonna invest in you. I'm UOTs, I'm gonna invest. It's a safe protocol. It's a safe protocol. But at the end of the day, it's not like that, and that's where it gets really, really worrisome, is because you don't know, like it's so I really want to stride that. I know it's look,
and you've done a great job, and this is what I'm doing. I'm separating the label UOT or whatever it's called from developers. Really, it's the developers who create the projects with the back doors and all this stuff to scam. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is I'm separating us. I'm trying to create a network of developers who are creating solid projects. I see. So this is separate from UOT or whatever it is. No, it's not even going there.
No, of course. And if that's what you're, yes, of course. Like I said, we support the concept. The concept's amazing. But yes, I sorry, I was misinterpreting. I thought you were associating the UOT as a network of developers coming together.
Yeah, no.
That's where I'm like, no, that's not like, I want to really have that out there.
And I just want to put out there as well, guys, it's not that, any of us got anything again. He's explained it well. They're doing something really good, but I'm basically introducing something which is completely different, which is literally for developers. A core team of, well, not a core team, but various different core teams. Being in a network. It's like we call it over here in the UK, yellow pages. So if you need a plumber, they're qualified, they're certified. Here you go. If you want a group of developers that you can trust in, you call this, that number kind of thing. That's basically it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Excellent.
So yes, we're interested. If that, yes.
Brilliant. Right, guys. I mean, I'm out of questions. Sheila, OJ, you got anything else before we close down?
No, that's all for me. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you guys very much. You guys answered all the questions, and just looking forward to Z. So when that comes out, we're definitely gonna be tuning in.
Yes. We are really happy. Like, we're working really hard on this, and although there's not much information besides the fact that it associates itself with one letter, we are really happy. Like, this is going out. We've done a lot of the research. We have a bunch of papers we're ready to release, and yeah, just stay tuned, dude. We're really excited.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Great.
Thank you, guys. Cone Finance.
Thank you.
Peace and out.
That's the game, baby. All right, take care.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Yeah.